I love it when a plan comes together. I love it when all things come together. The more things come together, you know, it's a beautiful thing. We never want to stop doing what we do, but what we always want to continue to do is involve others. And that's the whole thing. That's the thing about growing. That's the whole thing about having an understanding. Only an understanding that you yourself allow to have. I'm getting things set up, so please bear with me. Okay, here we go. Because I'm also live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on Rumble. I want to thank each and every individual for chiming in. Please don't forget, put that number 1 in the chat once you chime in so I know you here. I always like to pay homage and show respect. And let y'all know that your boy Big Truck is here. So, you ready? Let's get it. I want to thank each and every individual for chiming in. So I think we're hitting close to 81 or 82,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I'm pretty excited with that. And I'm so thankful and grateful that individuals have showed their love and chimed in, and the comments, the emails. Man, it's just been it's been amazing getting his word out, building his brand. We also got Truck Nation Athletic, which is my clothing line, coming out soon this summer. So I'll be doing some advertising on that, and stay tuned to that. But today's discussion, we're gonna chime into some things, and we're gonna wrap it taste a little bit and really unravel some things regarding relationships. I've gotten some emails, and those that have relationship questions, advice, from a male's perspective, and how to navigate, how to maneuver, how to say the right things, how to be available. And there's nothing wrong with giving good advice when you can give good advice. But you also have to be careful of the individual that you're getting the advice from. Because here at the King's Table, yes, my channel and my content geared towards men, uplifting men, empowering men, and bringing back the masculine man. However, I welcome women too as well, because sometimes you don't get the opportunity to have good conversation, to sit in front of a man and hear what a man has to say and be realistic. We all have to be realistic, especially when it comes to our love life. Are we going to make mistakes? Yes. The main thing is we're learning from those mistakes. And that's the thing that we're going to dive into. And shout out to Miss Fontenot. Shout out to It's Giving Podcast. We're going to dive into some things. They got some things to say. Then I got another clip I want to play. Then the spirit of the universe is going to take us home. So, without further ado, grab your shoulder pads and your helmet, and let's get this work. Let's go.
Yes, ma'am.
What we got?
Well, first thing I want to tell you that the bob is everything. I want to say that live, that this bob, okay, because I got the bob going too. But your bob is bobbing more than mine.
No, it's not.
It's a different type of bob.
This is?
Yours compared to mine. Like, mine is
power.
More, yours is some kind of more
it's
symmetrical.
Edna.
It's giving. Mine is not an Edna bob. Mine is like an asymmetrical, like it's longer.
Okay.
But I love that.
Thank you.
That actually, that made me Girl, okay.
You know, I'll be switching it up.
I think you may need to stick with it. You feel me?
All right, let's do this.
Okay. Well, first things first, Italy is watching.
Hi, Italy. Love you.
So let's get started, shall we?
Let's do it.
We have an interesting topic that's been going viral lately that we would like to discuss.
Oh.
Sarah.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love to hear your take on the Shannon Sharp debacle that is going on, because when I saw it in the feeds and the things, I immediately thought of you.
Why?
Not like in a bad way, but it's just like I knew this was something that we were going to talk about. Yeah, not in a bad way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I you know what? I have one question. Until all the answers come, you know, I've said my piece once already, but one thing that my biggest, deepest question for this whole situation is, then who is Michelle?
Shut up, Sarah.
Because
Michelle
and Gabby,
that did happen. I forgot. Well, I slick forgot about that.
Was that role
recent.
play?
People are always gonna shed their theories and shared their thoughts about it. You know, I shared what I shared. I said what I said about the whole Shannon Sharp situation. Even with that, I took a different turn with it. I took a different twist with it. See, again, thinking as law enforcement and thinking outside the box and being an individual that when I'm hit with a situation, I'm a problem solver, number one. I'm a person that I like to look into things instead of looking at things, you know? And I mean, all the dots connect to a setup. While you have individuals that were looking at race, looking at her age, I looked past that. I looked at that attorney. I looked at her last name and the ties that she has with that last name. Once I identified that, then it started making sense on where this was going. Individuals gonna do what they gonna do. They grown adults. But like I've always said, men, you gotta know how to move in the season of your life. Let's continue to feast.
Nah, baby.
Okay, I feel complete. I'm next question. I don't know. All I do know is the way that I have experienced and seen Shannon is nothing other than professional, a good man, down to earth, and I don't know what's going on. I really do pray that this is something that can go away as fast as it came, especially if it's untrue, and that people are really willing to hear the truth of it instead of just see the drama of it and make a decision from that. So I hate that this is happening. Another good black man, you know, falling down. But you know what they say? They say that there are 4 things that could take any man down if you're not mindful of your vices, and that is alcohol, drugs, women, obviously sex. So you got to be mindful of your disciplines.
Question. Do you believe that he is a victim of celebrated toxicity?
I don't know what that means.
Like, it's kind of similar to what we just had a guest on here recently. They was just saying, like, you know, we from the hood, like, it's glorified where we come from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can relate because I'm from the hood as well.
Yeah.
And it's just something that when hood make it, like when hood guys make it, or, you know, they ain't come from nothing, they ain't never seen nothing before, and they get all this money, it's like it's almost like a spirit. It's like the spirit of becoming the victim of celebrated toxicity. Like, it's glorified for you to get a whole bunch of money and sleep with a whole bunch of women. It's glorified for.
I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
I do. And you know what? I honestly feel like no, because as a grown adult, you have to take responsibility for the design.
I agree. I mean, I grew up in the hood. hood of Long Beach, Compton area. So again, because of where I grew up in both places, so from there and then the Caribbean. But I've learned to make executive decisions. We're all going to be held accountable for the choices and decisions that we make. Okay? Stop trying to play the blame game. A large number of individuals play the blame game. It's his fault. It's her fault. No, own it. Take responsibility. You knew what the hell you was doing. Okay? You thought this thing through. Or maybe you didn't think things through, but you did it at the end of the day after it's all said and done. Oh man, it was my childhood, where I come from. No, damn that. When you are an adult, you have to put away childish things and behaviors. Let's continue to feast.
Desires of your heart. You have to take responsibility for your vices, and you have to be disciplined, especially when you have such a high level of success. And really for anybody. But as my mother has said, once you get past 22, if you had the most horrible, terrible upbringing, your parents were trash, maybe you didn't know them, you were adopted, 22, it's officially your job to start doing the work. There is no longer a space for you to sit here and blame everything and everyone around you. What are you doing for you? And
even as a professional athlete, okay, playing ball, I knew how to move because of who my dad was. Not only that, but the discipline, okay? There was structure. In today's society, in today's household, the structure does not come through often. Family structure isn't even mentioned. It's almost like they threw family structure out of the household. You have a lot of single parents, whether if it's single mothers or single fathers. I'm all for dating preferences, whether you are with the same person of your community or you with another person of another community. Paraphrasing. And either you have your own children or your stepchildren. Paraphrasing. At the end of the day, it's about family structure. We need more family structure. Let's continue.
And so, yes, is there a level of validation that comes from getting the applause and being able to smash all of the women? But right now, I don't think anybody would be like, oh, yeah, he's smashing a 20-year-old. That's great. I think most people would be like, yo, go sit yourself somewhere, get a wife, like you're at that age. So
I gotta play devil's advocate.
Okay.
However, it's hard for women of men of that type of status to find a genuine woman who wants to, because it's like, what type of value, I know that there is, but what type of value can a girl add to a man that has the world?
Well, that's why they should be looking for genuine women, because and this is the thing too, right? This is one thing that women need to be mindful of. And I've learned this inside of my dating experience, that if you are with a man that already feels like he has everything, there's no value for you, which means you're interchangeable, right? It's really easy for him to replace you, because if all you are, the girl that he spoils, he spends money on and has sex with, there's really not a lot of footing there. But if you are the person that comes with the intangible characteristics of, I can incubate, I'm going to make this house a home, I'm going to make sure that you feel seen, heard, acknowledged, rubbed down, cooked for, whatever those things may be, I'm going to be the mother of our children, all of these different things, it's really important for them to stop looking in the places. Like, if you're on OnlyFans, you're going to find an OnlyFans girl.
One of the things that I've learned, even in my dating See, all this is going to tie together. I've learned to make better choices and decisions. Okay? When I was playing pro ball, there was no schmut on my name. Why? Because I knew how to move. Okay? I moved strategically and quietly. I didn't get caught up in all of the rhythm and roll stuff. All right? Because I knew better. If we don't understand something, understand this. You got to protect your name. You got to protect your name. And your character. People are watching. And one thing you don't need is bad press put on your name. All right? So with that being said, even in relationships, okay, you do not want nothing bad on your name. If you're with that person, you are with that person. Stay with that person. Do not be entertaining other people if you are in a relationship with that individual. There's nothing wrong with men and women submitting to each other. Hell, especially in this day and age, when it comes to dating, animals show their love for each other more than humans do. All right? So when you have someone good, keep that person close to you. It behooves me, certain individuals I speak to, when they ask me questions about relationships, and it's like, well, I like this person, but I don't know if this person likes me back. Well, did you ask? I want this person to do XYZ for me. What are you willing to do for that person? It's all about how you lean in. If you lean in with good intentions, you're going to get good results. If you lean in with the wrong intentions, you're going to get the wrong results. Whatever you are leaning in with, you're going to get that back in return. Relationships are easy to have. A large number of individuals make them difficult. Why? I do not know. Let's continue to feast.
If you're in the clubs, you're going to find a club type of girl, right? So what work are you doing to find the women that have that more genuine spirit, in my opinion?
Okay, I like that answer, but let's go to the women.
Okay.
Because I know we have a lot of women who want to achieve the high value masculine man. You said, if you're just the girl that he spends money on and spoils and has sex with, there's no real intrinsic value within her, correct?
Zero. She's interchangeable.
Right, she's interchangeable. And I agree. Mm-hmm. So what does a woman have to do to not be that? Like, what type of essence should she have to bring a level of genuine intrinsic value with a man who has the world, or a man who has it all in his hands?
Some men don't even want that woman.
What do you mean?
Some men, all they have is money, right? And so clear disclaimer: we are no longer talking about Shannon Sharp or that situation, but just for clarity. But a lot of men, a lot of successful men, want the woman that's easier, and not all they do is spend money on. They're not going to marry her. They're going to use her up until they're done or they get the next one, because it's easy. There's no accountability. There's no level of real responsibility. At any given moment, you can quit that. But that doesn't mean that women should stop being the loving, the nurturing, the kind, the thoughtful, the self-aware, the mindful. We shouldn't stop being those things. But
I received that. And that it would also be safe to say that even if you flipped it, because you may run into a woman that got money, a man may run into a woman that got money, and that woman may move the same way. Because when it comes to relationships, listen, at the end of the day, I speak for myself. I don't speak for all men. I cannot stand when people want to speak for other people. Us men, us women. No, speak for your damn self. For me, I can care less about your status, how much money you make, your education, what you did, your degrees, this and that. Don't get me wrong. All of those things are good. And that's great that you accomplished those things. But those things don't help you teach you how to keep a man. So when men say, what do you bring to the table? Do you bring peace? Respect? Do you know how to love? Are you ready to love? See, all these things are simple. Everybody want to talk about getting the bag. No, get your own damn bag. And I get mine. But when we come together, we love each other. We provide for each other. We look out and take care of each other. We uplift each other. We pray for each other. We stand together. We go through the good times and the bad times together. It's teamwork. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. And you have individuals that run from that. You have some individuals that have a hard time dissecting that. But yet, you wonder why. You wonder why you're between a pimp and a hard place when it comes to your love life. Then you want to blame somebody. Blame shifting. Those know my story. Look how I was treated and what was done to me only being married 14 months. Bruh. But see, I took those things and I did the work. No, I didn't do the work. I finished the work. The process had already been started. Sometimes we can start the work, but Elohim will show us there's more work that needs to be done. And he will reveal to us and show us those areas. Sometimes we need to stop running from ourselves. Sometimes we just need to sit down and listen. Large number of individuals do not want to take the time to sit down and listen. But they run in their damn mouth acting like they missed a get bad. But wonder why they hit a brick wall when it comes to their love life. Well, I just focus on me. Well, I just do what I need to do. And if you're a single parent, I just focus on my children's. No, you can still have a love life. Sometimes you need to get out of your own way and let Yahweh get in the way. Too many people you allow get in the way. And wonder why you mess up a good opportunity. Wonder why you friend zone the wrong person. The person that you friend zone should have been the person you should have chose to be with.
One of the main things that I know for me that has been, beneficial is I'm always seeking the need. Mm-hmm. What does this man need? Right. And when you start giving him the things that he has expressed or hasn't even expressed, but he kind of just is like, man, I really wanted that, the strawberry jelly, and all there is grape. And then you show up with strawberry jelly, those things mean a lot, you know?
Yes, I totally agree. It's the little things. When it comes to a large number of men, it's the little things that mean so much. When I say that I'm simple to the T. You can cook a home-cooked meal. I rather watch you cook a home-cooked meal than to go out and eat. I can care less about the damn restaurant, the food in the restaurant, the name of the restaurant. If it's a 4-star or 5, I can care less about all of that. Some of my subscribers ask me what type of women woman am I looking for? I'd rather take a woman that work at Burger King. I'd rather take a woman that's a server at Denny's. Why? Because she's simple. She has a job. It doesn't matter about how much money she has to make. She don't mind going to work. Because at the end of the day, we love, we provide, we look after each other. That's the way it should be. All this material stuff. One thing about the internet and social media, it has a lot of people's minds effed up. And I know I have to watch what I say because it's Facebook, but trust and believe what I really want to say, how I say what I want to say. But that's the difference between of having good communication. You can learn how to say certain things and paraphrase. Let's continue to feast. But I get what she's saying. And I knew this was going to be a good topic to really talk about and hear it from both sides. Because at the end of the day, listen, when it comes to meeting someone, sometimes we just need to give a person a chance. Sometimes we give the wrong people a chance, and then they do what they do. Then we shut ourselves off away from anyone that doesn't mean no harm, that comes in good faith, that comes with good intentions. Those are the ones we friend zone. But because you have a large number of individuals that are used to, you know, the Pookie and the Ray Rays, the Makitas and the Shaquitas, because that's what they're accustomed to. But when they come across someone that is good, that has good intentions, that leans in with good, they get friend zoned. They get treated like trash. And before you know it, someone else will come take them and give them a chance. Now y'all asses is standing there mad. What you mad for? You had an opportunity, but you let it slip right through your hands. All is fair in love and war.
Or if it's the, oh man, like I hate the fit of these boxers. I don't know why I got this brand anyway. You get them a new brand. Those little things are actually the big things. So the question for any woman that wants to be a woman that is with a high value, not just high earning, but a high value man, is to bring value. How do you bring value? By not being interchangeable, meaning you're actually bringing something to the equation.
But I get what you're saying, and you know, we understand that because we're not modern day women. But it's just like, what do you mean by bringing something? Like we know what the something is, but just put it in the layman terms for, like, let's say that the I don't want to say roundaway girl because that sounds bad, but let's say a hood girl's watching you right now, and she's like, I want to live a luxurious lifestyle, or I want to live a high value lifestyle, and I want to be around high value people and I have a high value man. I've just never been around it. Put it in the layman's terms of what that thing is. Like, what does that value look like?
It depends on the man.
Okay.
Because also we have to remember, we've said this before, value is subjective, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, a hood girl might want a rapper. To me, that's they're very seldom, few and far in between rappers that I would know, that I would think are high value. They might make a lot of money, but they're constantly running through women. I'm talking about the stereotype of rappers, right? Not the newfound, like the Jeezys and the T.I.s. I'm not talking about them.
Right.
But
we're talking about regular people.
Right. We're talking about the rappers that are running through women, that are doing the drugs, that are spending the money, that are.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct.
That have sold their soul to the industry. That takes me to that movie Sinners. That's the prime example of someone selling their soul to the industry and not wanting to let go. But again, you have to look at who you choose versus who you pass up. Okay? Like where I work at, I see beautiful people. I see all types of people. I'm a spirit reader. I see through people. I feel spirits. That's one of my amazing gifts. However, because I know who I am, okay? Number one, I know who I am. And I walk in that. When individuals see me, it's like, who is he? He's confident. That is a man. That man is anointing. And you have some women that can handle that, and you have some that can't. I know how I move. And I continue to move in that. It comes down to, ladies, what type of man you want to date? Do you want to date a man that can add value to you and you can add value to him? Or you just want the Pookie and the Ray Rays? The choice is yours. But when I tell you I have so much peace in my life, I have peace. And it shows. Even at the workplace, it shows that I have peace and grace. I separate myself from most men because I choose to. A real woman is going to see that and gravitate to that. Because that's the same type of path that she's on. She's on that path. She sees me. I see her. Our energies are going to lock. It's a win-win for both.
Flexing, that are being ultra flashy, like that to someone is super valuable. So I can't tell that woman what to do because I don't want that man. But if you want the man that is the business owner, the CEO, the coach, not the player, right? The owner, not the employee. If you want those types of men, oftentimes, number one, they want a beautiful woman.
Correct.
They want a well put together woman. So all of that ratchet, and I'm doing air quotes because this is what they call, whoever they are, they call ratchet. The super long bedazzled nails, gots to go. The super wild, long down to the back of your knees hair with colors, whether you're black, white, or in anything in the middle, gots to go. The super overly showy stuff, that can't be it, right? Because you have to remember there's a difference between sexy and sleazy. So
The long claw eyelashes. Shit gotta go. The long, extra long fingernails. Shit gotta go. How you gonna fix yourself to say you want a good man, but you got all this fakeness going on with you? Help me make it make sense. But you want a real man. As I sip my whiskey, okay.
are you being sexy or are you dressing sleazily, right? And so for those types of men, they want something a little bit different.
So I kind of want to pivot a tad because this reminds me of something that was also going very viral in between our shoot dates.
Okay.
The I can't think of the basketball player's name who just paid all of his child support payments in one payment and signed off his rights to have, he doesn't want any relationship with his daughter.
Anthony Edwards. Anthony
And
Edwards.
the girl, I think the girl is older than him by a lot. Like I don't really know much about her, but she's like the IG baddie. She's BBL'd up, I think.
When they talk about the IG baddies, they ain't nothing but IG 304s. Ain't nothing spectacular. You know, just like a woman having an OnlyFans. There ain't nothing spectacular about that. That don't woo a man that knows his worth. A masculine man. A man that's a king. A man that's a problem solver. A man that's a leader. Those type of things don't woo him. Because a man of that caliber, his options has options. But yet, with Anthony Edwards, again, large number of women came down. They came down for him. Why? Because he said what he said? Because he moved how he moved? But not once did somebody say, why is this older woman dating this younger man that's old enough to be her son? Same thing with Dre and Michelle. But no, large number of individuals want to throw flame on Shannon. Help me make it make sense. Get your facts right. Know who you going to throw flame on and know who you not going to throw flame on. What's wrong is wrong. Evidently, something happened for Anthony Edwards to move the way he moved. Now, on the flip side of that coin, Anthony Edwards, he needs to be careful of where he's sticking and moving. Two wrongs don't make a right. Got to get on him a little bit. He need to make better decisions. He need to make better choices. He need to strap it up. Got to get on him too. Accountability goes both ways in that situation. But again, you have a large number of women that don't want to work, want to be lazy, want a lifestyle. So they get pregnant by these athletes and entertainers. And both knew what they were getting themselves into. This ain't nothing new. Message for the men. You can't get mad because she do what she do to you. Look what you linked in with. If you leaning in with your money and your status, a gold digger should take your ass to the ringer. That sounds about right. Because of what you leaned in with. It'd have been a different story if you leaned in with good intentions. I don't know what it is about a large number of black men doing that. But that needs to decease. That we need to shut down operation on that. You cannot get mad at a woman because she does what she does to you because you leaned in with your money and your status. You can't. And she deserves to take advantage of you. That's what you get now.
I mean, she doesn't look natural at all, but it's just like she got a lot of backlash about like because she was making a fuss about him paying her over $1 million in one payment. She was like, that ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, how do women prevent from falling into that trap? It's just like, I just feel like that's going around a lot. A lot of women glorify that.
No, women have to love themselves. That is the problem. The problem is that statistically speaking, only 4% of women actually see themselves as beautiful. Mm-hmm. The problem is that 2 out of 3 people, statistically speaking, have low self-esteem, which means now people don't even think they're attractive. They question if they could do it. They doubt themselves. There's fear all up and around them. And so they're not operating from their highest self. The reason why a lot of these women are even in relationships is because they're seeking to fill a void, either that of a void father, that of a void love, that of being abandoned in the past, that of feeling rejected all the time. And so you're trying to fill a void, and the only thing that can fill that void is you, your work, and God. That's
Very well put. Very well said. And I want to add to that. Those that are chiming in, please put a number 1 in the chat so I know you hear, so I know you feeling it, so I know you listening and you liking what you hearing. Large number of women also suffer from childhood trauma. Okay? That's why a large number of women are so promiscuous, the OnlyFans, selling cheeks, this, that, and the third. Again, when you sit down and you have a conversation, this is why I tell people, you got to learn to observe and report. You got to sit back and watch people. I love people watching because I can find out so much about an individual just by sitting back watching them. Yeah, real thing, buddy. I can just talk to an individual and I'm like, okay. Well, you say big truck. If that was the case, what happened in your marriage? How come you didn't depict all of them things? Well, there were signs there, but you ignore the signs. But see, I'm man enough to say that. I ignored many signs. Not trying to fix somebody, but I'm the type of person, if I'm with you, I'm with you. I'm faithful to you, I'm faithful to you. I'm married to you, I'm married to you. This was only my first marriage. But when I peel back the layers of the damage that was done to me and what I went through, hell yeah, I second guess the next time around. But one thing I'm not going to do is put the past on somebody else, on a new person. Not going to do that. I'm past all of that. But again, my point that I was making, when it comes to those specific, when it comes to those preferences, those dating preferences, you have to state those preferences. I've learned to set boundaries. I've learned to state my dating preferences. Okay? That's standing on business, 10 toes down. And you let a person know what your intentions are. Let a brother know.
That's it. And it's not until we get to a place where we start to say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to sleep with this man because he brought me to a nice dinner. Why are you not treating yourself to nice dinners? Sleep with yourself. Why are you not treating yourself to that nice bath?
Well, because
why are you
Sarah,
not?
it's Sarah.
What?
It's lonely going. Who wants to go to dinner by themselves?
I love dinner by myself.
I love going to dinner by myself. Hell, I go get my feet done by myself. I go to the movies by myself. I spend time with myself. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have a beautiful woman to come home to. I'd love to have someone to go to bed with and wake up next to. Take the family functions. Enjoy building lifetime memories that leaves a legacy. I love doing them things with the woman, but I'm not going to do them with every woman. You see, there lies the difference. But at the end of the day, life still goes on. I know that I'm a good catch, but I may not be that woman's preference. I'm 6'2", 290 pounds, defensive tackle. I got big arms that look like thighs. I love the gym. I love to cook. I love to chill. I love to read. But you have some women, I may not fit their body type because I'm on the muscular side. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to be everybody's type. And that's fine. But I'm going to be somebody's type. Let's continue.
To be honest,
Sarah,
I
oh
do.
my God, Sarah, you are the exception of the rule. What woman who spent $50,000 on a BBL, and I say that very loosely, who wants to do that? She wants to be seen. She's not going out by herself.
She'll be seen while she's out, but pay for your own dinner. And honestly, most times, and that's a battle too, a lot of the times when you do go out and eat by yourself, a man is going to come up and try to pay for your meal. You can accept it or not. You don't have to. Me personally, it's probably going to be a no for me. I might treat him to his meal, but it's not. This ain't that. I'm treating myself to a date, which means I have to pay for myself. I can't just.
What do you mean
dodge.
date yourself, Sarah? But
It means you gotta
I'm a baddie, Sarah. What do you mean take myself out? No,
I'm telling you, baddies are going out of style. I'm telling you right now.
They need to pay all my bills, Sarah. They need to be paying me to get my hair and my nails done so they can take me out to dinner.
This is what I think.
And see, that right there. That right there will leave a large number of women single. Sometimes you have to learn how to just chill. Allow a person to like you. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. I don't need no woman to pay all my bills. I pay my own damn bills. And you should too. Now, we in a relationship, we're married. Guess what? We pay our bills together. Everything that I say when you're married is together. All right? It's not just one or the other. The mindset of a large number of individuals, you'll know why they're single. If you sit back and you let a woman talk long enough, you can see why she can't keep a man. Why she has a problem when it comes to her dating life. Why she's promiscuous. Why she does what she does. And vice versa. It's a two-headed sword on that one. But this whole thing about man paying my bills, man providing, kill that noise. That's dead. Because you got different women speaking the same language. It's like a copy and paste. Ain't no man going for that. Man ready to go take his homeboys out. Because at least the men go out, they're going to cover the bill as one. Everybody going to be good. Like I said, a large number of individuals shoot themselves in the foot before it even gets started.
And I know you're playing devil's advocate. I think that a lot of these women, so where am I at here? For my young ladies, okay, this message is for you because I feel as though society and social media platforms will have you thinking that in order to be seen, in order to be loved, in order to get attention, which I promise you is not what you want. You really want respect. but will have you thinking that you have to have the BBL, you have to have absolutely everything done. The truth is, most of the good men that I know, and I mean everybody, I have so many male friends, acquaintances, mentors that are multimillionaires. Some are single, some are married, some are in relationships. And I promise you, their girls, or the girls that they say that they would wife, they're not surgeried to the gods. Now, mind you, I'm not speaking about men that are in the entertainment industry or that are athletes. I'm not talking about them. That's a different life. You could do, that's different. But if you want the business owner, the CEO, most times they like a natural body, or at least a natural looking body. It can't look like ant legs, and the big booty. It can't, like certain things, if it looks good. Yeah, that's not ideal, right? So number one, I think that you have to love yourself enough so that if you do, because look, get it how you live it. Whatever makes you happy, that's what you should be doing. And that's what you will attract because you vibrate higher. That's what I think.
So, okay.
It's the law of attraction. What you think about, you will attract and draw to you. Okay? The more positive that you speak and you put out there in the universe will bring that to you. All right? A real man does not want a woman with fake body parts. And I know I covered this on one of my other content, on one of my other videos, natural versus plastic. And large number of women, they compete with each other, period. That's hands down. We see that every day, all day. We got that good. But a large number of women were asked, do men like BBLs or do they like natural? A large number of those women stated that men love the BBLs. But when the men were asked, do you like BBLs or do you like, natural? Those men said they like natural. So which one was it? You just assumed. No, men like natural. Getting your body done, all attention ain't good attention. Period. Oh, it's boosting up my no, you want the damn attention. Damn. Some attention ain't good. And sometimes you can draw the wrong attention to you. Sometimes it pays to just be your authentic self.
Man, this goes so deep. There's so many ebbs and flows to what you're saying because I believe that there's so many women out here who will choose the bear every time. And
what does that mean? Choose the bear.
You know how the question where the questions going around, they ask women, who would you rather choose to be in the forest alone with a bear or be in the forest alone with a man? Which one would you choose? And a lot of women choose the bear.
I don't believe that.
I'm not playing with you, Sarah.
No, they don't.
Sarah, I'm not playing.
That is a wild bear.
A wild grizzly.
Would I rather be in the woods by myself with a bear or a man?
And those women that said that, I'm sorry. I gotta say it, they were full of shit. They did not mean that. What they, it's like individuals saying something to get a reaction. Because see, they said that they would rather be in the woods with a bear than a man. Even the bear, because the bear saw how the men were being treated and the bear stepped out. Even the bear had to fall back. So it's a problem if the bear don't want to deal with you. The bear said, I'd rather be with the man than her. Now things are really thick. However, when it comes these dating preferences, these dating things, listen, I'm gonna let the queen say it. I'm gonna let the queen say it. Go ahead.
They choose the bear.
Because they want to die. So they're saying I would rather die than be with a man?
They think they're safer and better off with the bear.
A wild bear. This is not Paddington, okay?
Sarah, I feel the confusion because I don't understand it either. But there are women out here who believe men are so obsolete that they would rather risk their chances being alone in the forest with a wild bear than being in the forest with a man.
You know what I would say?
But
well, it's good for those women. They'll stay single because there are more women than there are men. And realistically, it just takes them out of the dating pool. So you go on ahead with your bear, okay? Because that's crazy. That's wild. I don't know these people. I've never seen them in my life.
What have I always said? You let an individual talk long enough, they shoot themselves in the foot. Modern feminist women shot themselves in the foot left and right, right and left. Okay? And again, these dating techniques, these dating conversations, when you are hearing it from a woman's perspective and a male's perspective, at some point it hits home. It's like, whoa, it's making sense. Okay? And date whoever you want to date, move how you want to move. But don't get caught up in the social media hype. Don't get caught up in all the BS. Number one, man don't owe you nothing. And if I catch any man out there paying for a woman's bills that is not his wife, big truck is coming for you. You tell that woman to pay her own bills. You tell that woman to pay her own way. Real men don't simp. Stop paying for women's stuff that is not your wife. Stop it. Learn how to move. Sit yourself down. Make yourself a stiff drink. Learn some lessons. Read something. Be something. Get out of your own way. Learn how to function. Each one teach one.
I cannot relate. I do not know them.
yeah, I mean, it's because people want to use like the fact that there are a lot of men out here who have lack of therapy, hate women, but they constantly make it seem like they don't. Like there's two sides of every coin, right? So there are the the high value masculine men who, know how to cater to a woman, treat a woman, provide, protect, and serve a woman. And then there's the opposite end, the woman that receives all of that and then provides the flow of her femininity, right? However, there are also a lot of men and women out here that make it hard for people who want to be in relationships because they're scared of being traumatized. And
there's nothing wrong with, look, we've all had relationships that have failed. I mean, I've had a 14-month marriage that failed. But even in the midst of that, I was fighting for my marriage. I didn't give up. Okay? When you are in love with someone, you're going to fight. And this was a spiritual battle. Sometimes we don't wrestle not against our flesh. This is a spiritual thing. Because the enemy doesn't want to see good people together. But it's just like what I said about watching film. Yeshua has film on you. Hashatan, Satan, he has film on you too. He knows your weaknesses. He knows what buttons to push. So when it comes down to the whole thing of you find yourself in a fight, you find yourself in a battle. And sometimes as men, we fighting by ourselves. As men, we in it, blood, sweat, and tears by ourselves. Sometimes it makes you even question yourself. Why am I in this? What am I doing? Sometimes we may feel like we're doing the right thing. Or sometimes we feel like we're doing the wrong thing. Sometimes it's mind-boggling. But I'm going to tell you something. When you have the right teammate with you, and the both of you are faced with storms, or when life happens, and the both of you are able to stand together and pray your way out of it, or stand together and work through it. To me, those are some best times, because when your faith is tested and you look over at your teammate and your teammate looks back over at you, and the both of you say, we already know what time it is. We prepared for this. We know what to do. Let's execute it. That's a powerful thing. Most can't handle that. That's when you know you got a good man or a good woman.
Be put in pain.
I think a lot of people are traumatized. Actually, every person is traumatized. And every time you get into a relationship, you have an opportunity to see where you are actually traumatized, because you're going to have new triggers that you didn't even know that you had, because now you have this new person that's acting in new ways, triggering you in a new way, and you get to respond to that. I don't feel like that's an excuse. I think that's an excuse, or it's, again, it goes back to filling that void, right? It goes back to that lack sense of love. I'm complete.
All right, let's go to all of the many questions that we have. We have so many questions. It's crazy. Shout out to our givers for these questions.
Oh.
So, next question is, what kind of places or activities would you recommend to meet high-level men?
We've totally answered this question before.
I think on the last podcast we answered this.
Yeah. I don't think there are specific places, but do what you love. Ultimately, you'll bump into people at yoga. You'll bump into people in the grocery store.
Be available. When it comes to I don't like to use the word high value. I like to use the term men, women of good character. Be available. Ladies, you want to attract and draw to you some him? Be available. Smile. Say hello. Spark up a conversation. Give a compliment. Open up the door to let him know it's okay. That didn't cost money. That wasn't hard. Simple. Vice versa. Let's switch it. Men, what I just said, you do the same. There's, oftentimes it's that fear of rejection. I grant it. And if it's somebody at the workplace, you don't want to end up in somebody's HR office. Understandable. At the end of the day, be available, be welcoming, be fun, be friendly. Okay? Because everything is off of a vibe. What type of vibe you putting out? What type of energy you putting out? If you putting out good energy, things are going to connect. But if you putting out negative energy, Well, you know.
Actually, that's not true. When people say the grocery store, I got questions. I don't even go to the grocery store. I don't.
She doesn't, y'all. She's
I don't
not
go to
over
the
there.
grocery store. I don't really run a lot of my own errands. So I don't know. But do what you love, I think. Also find nice restaurants, you know. If you can stand cigar smoke, go to a cigar lounge. You know, ultimately get dressed up, go feel good and feel good. Can I just say that is the ultimate attraction? Okay. I feel like God will just place certain people in your lives at certain
Feeling good. Like people ask me, how are you doing today? I'm living my best life. Wow. What makes you say that? I was able to wake up this morning. Once I was able to wake up this morning, I made an executive decision to have a great day, to make today a great day. That's why I'm having the best day of my life. I woke up with a good attitude. You see? And I'm at work and I'm walking around smiling. Why are you smiling? I have a lot to be thankful for. I have a lot to be grateful for. And it opens the door for conversations. Because now they want to know. They want to feel that energy. So you share. Don't be stingy with your energy, share it. Because the universe is going to bring that back to you. You see? So just being available. You know, when it comes to dating preferences, I mean, how I was raised, it's not the color of your skin, it's your character. I meet good people that are black, white, Hispanic, that are Asian, Filipino. I meet good people. So when it comes to my dating preference, I'm open. You know, Caribbean, Islander, I'm open. I'm always down to learn. When you learn different cultures, that is a blessing. When you have an interest in someone else's culture, that is a blessing. That's 2 feet in right there. You see? Because I'm leaning in with good intentions. Let's continue to feast.
Sometimes when you start vibrating on a level, it's not where you are, it's who you're being. Because sometimes you might meet somebody that knows somebody just because you had good energy. Now they want to introduce you to so-and-so, and that could be your future husband. So that's what I think.
Okay. That's
Okay.
fair. Do you feel complete?
I'm complete.
I like these ones. How do you get men? I know you don't have this problem.
What?
How do you get men to plan dates?
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Men have been so lazy in their dating. Okay, so I feel like men, here, men. Okay, look, y'all got to put it in effort. It is not a level of how much money are you spending, because there's effort inside of picking up one flower from a store, bringing it to the smoothie bar, having a smoothie and saying, hey, let's go for a walk if you know that she likes to do walks. So where does the effort come in? The effort comes in being attentive enough to understand the things that she actually likes, which means, ladies, you've got to put yourself in position to be liked, which means men are aesthetic, right? So you got to look a certain way. Do the best for your genetic potential. I'm not telling you have to be a size 0, a size 2, or a size 4. Do what makes you happy, but just...
I agree. Now, when it comes to putting in the effort, that can easily go both ways. Okay. And it comes back around to men knowing who you're taking out on a date, knowing who you're talking to. Okay. There's nothing wrong with planning something. Okay. Or who cares about planning something? Let's go with the flow. Let's just go. Babe, get dressed. Where we going? We're going to figure it out together. We just going to go. And we find ourselves having a good time somewhere. You see? Yes, on the planning tip of it, we can go both ways with that. Okay? We can examine that. We can share that. Okay? But will she receive or be open to going with what he planned? Or with me, it's whatever. Long as I'm spending time with you, I can care less about where we go. We can go to Yogurt Land. We can go for a walk on the park. I want to spend time with you. Because time is something you can't get back. Time is very, very important. We don't waste time, we use time. So it's not a right or wrong question in what she's saying. I guess it's more of the different feedback behind the question.
Remember, we attract what it is that we put off. So actually, I have to do this, okay?
Do it. Say the thing.
I have to do it.
Do it.
I think that there are a lot of women that want men that they're not qualified for.
Oh,
yeah,
Sarah.
I do. And this is what I mean by that. I want each person that, if you hear this clip, please make a bar graph for yourself. 6 of them, actually. And I want you to do 1 bar, okay? Next bar, same height. 6 bars, the same height. And one is going to be mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, and energetically. What I want you to do is I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. You cannot use 7. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you rank yourself? Mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, energetically, and mentally. I think y'all got it. Y'all, whatever the 6th one is, right? So when you do those ones, add them all up. So it's a total out of, and then divide it by 6 for your average of the number. What number do you have?
I agree with that. There's a large number of women that want certain men that they're not qualified for. They're not. They're not. And it shows the behavior, it shows. But on the other hand, there's a lot of women out there that a large number of men are not qualified for either. And the men's behavior, it shows. So that statement is a two-way street. You see? And most people hate on someone that has something that they want, but they never had it themselves. Good men and women have always been walking around the universe. But this is who you chose. This is who you passed up. And sometimes the one that you passed up should have been the one that you should have gave a chance. But what happened? What was going on that you didn't give that good person a chance? That's when you have to look back. A lot of the things that happen to a lot of the adults and the reasons why they do what they do, a lot of it stems from their childhood. What was done to them? What did they see? What did they hear? What was familiar to them? And they never got help from those traumas. They just learned how to keep it in the closet. But every now and then, their past shows up in their social life, love life. They past will show up. And you will instantly know why. You will instantly know why. Because you're going to see it. Especially if you look long enough and close enough.
Now, this is the thing. If you haven't been to the gym and you are 75 pounds overweight, man or woman, do not give yourself an 8. Do not give yourself a 6. If you do not feel good, if you have low energy, if you know you ain't talked to God in 10 years, don't you give yourself no 9 on a spiritual level. If you know that you are so emotionally dysregulated and misaligned that you are incapable of navigating through conflict emotionally, you may not be that strong. So when you rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, and you cannot use 7 in those separate areas, if you are a 4, don't ask for no 10. If you are a 5, don't ask for no 10. If you are a 6, don't ask for a 10, right? You've got to get clear. And this is the thing. We have to be so self-aware with ourselves and where we lie on this thing, because a lot of us think that we deserve something. We feel entitled to something that we really don't have coming. We don't deserve that.
Until that thing that they want doesn't want them. That thing that they want doesn't show up. That thing that they want doesn't choose them. Because a large number of women are quick to say that they're a 10. No, you're not. You're not. You're a 2. A 4.5 at best. That's the reality. That's the truth. Most can't handle the truth. I'm not going to tell you you a 10 and you not. And then when you ask, why do you give yourself a 10? And it's nothing new. It's just a different woman saying the same damn thing the last one said. Copy and paste conversations. Let's continue.
Right? So, oh my gosh. Tony said I'm a 2.6 or 26. A 2. No, you're not. Tony, stop it. So I say that to say that if you get really clear about how you see yourself, and maybe ask your 3 closest friends, what would you rank me on a scale of 1 to 10, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, and energetically? So
I can already tell you what my friend's going to say. Big Truck is a nut. Something wrong with him. But they also say he has an amazing personality and a sense of humor that will make Denzel Washington do backflips. Because that's just who Big Truck is. He like to make people laugh and have a good time when they are in his presence. He's a gentle giant. Half the damn time, he don't know his own strength. You know, even my football families, shout out to AFE Team USA. Shout out to everybody, my family and friends. This is like, this is who Big Truck is. There's nothing fake about him. Yeah, he been through some storms, but he overcame a lot and he got heart. That's what they will say. But, You rub that bear you rub that bear the wrong way. Y'all know the damage a bear can cause. But you also know the peace that an individual has that surrounds him. Food for thought.
So your friends can help you. And you can identify with where you actually are. Does that make sense? Y'all with me? Mm-hmm. You with me?
Mm-hmm. I'm reading the comments.
So I say that to say that, like, really and truly, guys, like, really and truly, when you take those numbers and then you divide it by 6 so that you can get your average, we have to be realistic with what it is that we offer.
Can I ask you, where did you get that grading system come from?
I made it up.
What?
I made it up. And the reason why I made it up is because, you know, everybody is constantly comparing me to Kevin Samuels. And Kevin Samuels does the physical thing. If you could give yourself a scale of 1 to 10, no makeup, no lashes, what would you rank yourself? You can't use 7. Okay, well, how are you as a whole human? Because that's really more important. And when you look at the wholeness, because I believe that's what real, true life success is. Success is when you mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, and energetically are happy with who you are. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you're excited for more growth, but you're excited about where you're at, right? So when you're actually there, you can look.
I want those that are on Facebook Live, I love you and I appreciate you. Those that are on YouTube, I love you and appreciate you. Rumble, I love and appreciate you. My question is for each and every one of you. Leave me a comment. Here's my question right now in the season of your life. How are you feeling? I want to know. How are you feeling in the season of your life? There's always a theory and a method to things that I say. But leave me a comment of how you are feeling in the season of your life. Let's continue. Just like for me, in the season of my life, I feel peace. I feel peace and I feel love. I'm relaxed. I'm in a place of opportunity. I'm in a place for growth. I'm in a place to receive love. I'm in a place I'm ready to love. Large number of men don't get the chance to express and share. But it is a powerful thing. It is so powerful. Dang, it's powerful. When men come together and they embrace each other. Men come together and they share. Men come together. Hey, my brother, I love you. Hey, my brother, I want the best for you. Hey, my brother, whatever you need, if I got it, it's yours. If I can help, I'll help. If I can, I can't. But my brother, I'm walking with you. That's the type of time I'm on. And that's standing on business. 10 toes down, 1 head up.
Look and see how I am. This is how I am.
How do you feel about people not waiting until they feel their integrity with all of those different aspects, like energetically, physically, spiritually, financially, emotionally, and mentally? If they're not where they want to be, do you feel like they should just keep their legs closed and their penises
They
in
should
their
be
pants?
single and work on themselves. Because the truth is, we attract the level that we're at. This is the thing. If you're a 4, that doesn't mean you can't be a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It doesn't mean that. What it means is that you've got work to do. And now you can see where those areas are. That also means don't try to fix everything at once. You've got to choose one thing, narrow in on that one thing. I think a lot of people get distracted inside of life because they're shooting for their big shift. But the truth is your big shift is measured inside of your micro actions. So now if I want to lose weight, what did I do today? Well, I didn't have French fries today. Okay, well, tomorrow I didn't have French fries and I added a green. Okay, well, in a month after doing that, you might lose some weight. I cut off soda. I only drank water. I cut soda out of my diet. I cut French fries out of my diet, and I added something green to every meal. Okay, well, after 30 days, you've mastered that. What does the spiritual aspect of things look like? Is it the Bible for you? Is it prayer for you? Is it church for you? Is it Bible study for you? What are those things that are going to build that relationship? Because God, which I believe is your true integrity source point, where are you at?
True. And I always say this to individuals too. It's not about relationship. It's not about religion. It's about relationship. You got to have that spiritual relationship. Okay. There's nothing, again, I know with a large number of women or men, they feel that they want to be in this special place, this specific place. That's why they don't want to date or what not have you. At the end of the day, we got to be honest with ourselves. We all have needs. We all have mental needs, emotional needs, sexual needs. We all have needs. However, you have to be mindful with that, of course. Know who to date. Know who not to date. We're not perfect. Yes, we got work on ourselves that needs to be done. Granted. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something that can be very, very powerful if those two people allow it to happen. Two good people meet, two good people get together, and, the sharing and conversation. And they both discover that they have things in areas, specific areas in their life that they need to work on. And they say to each other, bae, I know I got things going on. You got things going on. Certain areas that you need to work on. Guess what? Let's do it together. Can we please do that together? Can we please allow work to be done on both of us in specific areas of our life? That together we create that strong bond. Not even Hashatan, Satan himself, can't even come in and try to destroy. Because what me and you have, what me and you are building right now, in this moment, in this time, in this season, is so strong. You can't even bend it. You can't even break it. That's a powerful thing to me. Two broken people come together and they both submit to each other and they both go to the house of Yeshua and they pray it out. They work it out. I don't know. What do y'all think? Let's continue.
Because you're unwavering when you know who you are, right? So that's what I personally think. But what were you going to say?
And I agree. People are saying in the comments, there are guys who are fours that pull 8s, 9s, and 10s all the time.
If they have money, that is the only way. If they have money,
Sarah, I'm from the hood now. I don't see.
I can't relate. I don't know. I'm talking about in normal life. 4s and 5s ain't pulling no 8 or a 9 unless they have money. And 4s or 5s are probably not 4s or 5s because they rank higher in different areas. Mentally, you can't be successful monetarily without being successful mentally.
That's true.
So you're going to rank higher. You couldn't even be a 4 or a 5. You just might be unattractive.
So You just said that it's the micro progressions that create the big change, right? When it comes down to the women, what micro things do you feel like a woman can do to prepare herself for the task of becoming the wife of a high value man?
You said, what can a woman do to get
What are the
ready?
micro progressive changes that a woman can make in her life to evolve to attract a high value, high earning man? Like, what are things that you feel like she needs to?
Number one, she needs to be feminine.
Okay.
She needs to take care of herself, do the best with your genetic potential. She needs to be assertive and not aggressive. I mean, get our book, to be honest.
Right,
At this
big
point,
facts. Get the book.
you gotta get. There's 10 really
Fit, feminine, and friendly. Know how to love. Be ready to love. Do what other women don't do in order to have something you never had but always wanted. When you master that, it's like, well, again, instead of saying high value man, we say man of good character. Also be his peace. You see? Yeah, you gotta know how to cook. Not just know how to cook, but loves to cook. Because the way to a man's heart is to his belly. Being supportive, nurturing. If I'm having a bad day, long as I can come to you, babe, can you pray for me? Knowing her, you're like, babe, I pray for you every day. Encouragement. You know how hard it is to be a man every day? It's not easy. The things that men deal with on a daily. So much weight is on our shoulders. And to those single mothers out there that are raising boys, oh yeah, yeah. Because if the biological father is not in his life, or a good stepfather is not in his life, it's going to be a long day. A mother cannot teach her son how to be a man, but she can teach her daughter how to be a woman. That's the honest to Yahshua truth. This is no time to be hard-headed and stubborn. But this is the time to choose wisely. And that goes for both sides.
simple steps that you could follow on how to be a more feminine woman. What's up, guys? Sarah Fontenot here. I just had to pause this episode really quick to let you know.
So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go to clip number 2, and we're going to be out. Peep this out.
I crazy for saying I will not date a black man that dates white women. And I'm not saying like you can have never dated a white woman. I'm just saying if you continuously date white women more than you date black women, I don't want to date you.
Well, if a black man prefers to date a non-black woman, the chances of him wanting to date her are pretty low anyway. But why even judge a man for wanting to date non-black women? Because I don't see black men judging black women for wanting to date white men. But I believe it's because she's probably not dating anyone right now. Because if she would be dating somebody, she most definitely would not worry about those men that she does not want to date.
And this man said,
The reason why I want to let this play a little bit is because one of my subscribers sent me this. And again, we're talking about dating preferences, okay? And some individuals like to make things a racial issue. It has nothing to do with that. A person's preference is a person's preference. Okay? And what we're seeing now, like I said, we're going to talk about it. I like to talk about what most are scared to talk about or try to run from. At the end of the day, hey, look, if it's a woman of another race, she loves you and appreciates you and treats you right, go for it. Vice versa. You ain't hurting me. That's your preference. I have friends that they love interracial dating. There's nothing wrong with that. To me, interracial dating is a beautiful thing. That's just my preference. It's a beautiful thing. Whether if I'm dating a white woman, whether if I'm dating a Latina, whether if I'm dating an Asian, Filipino, Caribbean and Islander, that's half my culture. But again, when it comes down to dating, one's dating preference, okay, and that works for you and you're happy, be that. Do with what makes you happy, not what society says you should date.
I never knew this side of life. And he said, being with my white girlfriend, fiance, and her family, he said, you know what it's like? And this is what got me, ladies. He said, it's like if you're in a crowded room and you're surrounded by chaos and just everything is just chaotic and noisy and loud and disruptive, and you take some headphones and you put the headphones on and you can drown everything out, because when you put the headphones on, it's quiet and it's peace. He said, that's what my fiance is to me.
I mean, non-black families have their issues too, and they can also be very chaotic. But that difference that she's talking about, that peace that this young man was talking about, and we're going to get into the details in a little bit, is the difference that you will only notice the moment you leave the US. And this video resonates so much with what my husband had to experience before he came to Germany, because the interaction with women in his environment versus the interaction with women he had over here in Europe are like night and day.
Black women have to stop expecting men to be a finished product. It's harder on us. Help him level up. Stay with me. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny then snatched him.
Now, first off, shout out to this this sister here. She shared her thesis, and she's married to a black man, and she's happy. He's happy. It doesn't bother me because I don't know them like that. So when it comes to interracial dating and it comes to whatever your preference is, and that works for you, that works for you. Okay. Now, I love Dr. Omar Johnson, but woo, he's telling the truth. And this is what we see. Is that what every black woman? No. No, it's not. But we know what group he's talking to. We know. Paraphrasing. So once you're open and available, sometimes people live their life in a box, and sometimes it's best to live outside of the box. When you begin to live outside of the box, you'll discover those options. And discovering those options, or out of those options, of which you've discovered, you will find something that works for you. A place where you belong, where you are accepted, where you're loved, where you're treated right, where you're respected. Yeah. Let's continue.
I know that we all have our different opinions about Dr. Umar Johnson, but what he said in that short clip is very, very true. A lot of women have the expectations of meeting the fully finished product and a man making the six figures and just letting the woman do whatever the hell she wants to do. I know so many Turkish, German, Indian, mixed Italian ladies who have helped their black husbands to get to where he is now, and now their whole family just lives in abundance. They drive nice cars, they have multiple babies.
I have a large number of friends, but one of my friends, okay, we'd always go as a group, we'd go to Carnival, we'd go to Brazil for Carnival. So we'd always go out there for like a week, and then we always hit up the coffee shops, because Brazil, they have some great coffee shops. So, and but not like Jamaica, we have the best, Blue Mountain. But so the past couple of years, I didn't go, but they went. Partner come back. He said, "Man, I think I found my wife." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Because we all talk. We all go have lunch or something, and we you know how guys are. And he talked about this server at this cafe in Brazil, and the vibe, the conversation was good, and man, she's the one. Like, how do you know that? Like, y'all talk like 3 days, talk strong, like, hey, it worked for him. He ended up marrying her. I think he married her there and brought her back, or something like that. Women that he was seeing, that he was dating, he ended it. He did things the right way. Yeah, some was upset, but he did it the right way. And he married her. They have their first daughter together. But see, that worked for him. Got another partner. He married a Filipina. The love, the energy that they have between each other is amazing. And that works for him. I got another partner. He has a daughter by Hispanic descent. She's real cool, amazing, awesome. He has a daughter. So when we look at the dating preferences, when we look at the interracial dating aspect of it, who cares about the color of the person's skin? It's the content of their character that matters, and how that person treats you, respects you, loves you. That's what it comes down to. And when you think outside the box, these are those things that you will discover.
Babies, and they're just living their lives. When women that these men wanted to have back in the day didn't want these men because they were not where they are today. A lot of women do not want to put in that work. A lot of women do not have the patience. A lot of women don't even know how to support a man and what he's trying to do. They don't even see where they could be as a couple in a few years from now if they are patient and willing enough to help that man. And with that being said, everybody, happy Friday and welcome back to another video. First of all, thank you all so much for all of the love, all of the support.
For me, like the characteristics of that type of man is not the man that I see being my partner.
For one, how can you collect experiences with men that you don't want to date because they are dating non-black women? That's for one. For two, why would you even sit there and waste your time on things that you don't want, men that you do not like to date, instead of focusing on what you want and enjoying your dating life? Maybe it's because she doesn't have a dating life. And you know what? The sad thing about it is those men that she is talking about, they're not bothered by her. They don't care about her mindset, her opinion. See, if she would not be so bothered, if that would not disturb her so much, if she would not be so concerned about who black men are dating, those men that she, by the way, does not want, there wouldn't be this video.
At the end of the day, again, who cares? A person's going to date whoever they're going to date. And if an individual has a problem with that, they can get one too. They can get a finger in the air. Yeah, coming off raw like that, but at the end of the day, we all adults. We are all adults. Everybody ain't gonna like everybody. Everybody ain't gonna be attracted to everybody. Everybody's gonna have different dating preferences. Get over it. You live to see another day. But you have some individuals that will sit up there and go gun-ho and go as far as trashing and throwing flame on another individual because of their dating preferences. Boy, I tell you, I'm going to let it play for a little bit long, and then we out.
I try not to stereotype people or put them in a box, because I truly don't think that all black men that date.
Nah, but you do, and you did. You do, and you did.
White women or have a preference of white women are this way. I'm just saying I've noticed it enough for it to be an issue with me. And I just have noticed that those men tend to be uncomfortable in their blackness. They tend to be a little bit more insecure. I typically intimidate them, which...
What the hell do you do to intimidate them? Let me guess. Those men aren't choosing you. Those men are walking past you. Those types of men are not showing up on your radar. We just got through watching. Okay, It's Giving podcast. What type of energy are you putting out there? Are you feminine, fit, and friendly?
I don't really understand because...
Hold on. How delusional does she have to be to believe that a black man is not confident in its blackness? That she is just too much to be dealt with? See, those are the exact type of things that men, any man, black, white, purple, would not want to deal with. How is you going to start a relationship with a man, but you're entering that relationship with the possibility of thinking that he's intimidated by you? What man on this planet is intimidated by a woman to begin with? That's for one. For two, maybe that black man that you do not want to date just sees some or has some preferences or sees something in a non-black woman that he did not get from a black woman. Just let's take Eve for instance. Why is nobody coming at her for marrying a white wealthy man? When it comes to her, it's a whole bunch of go get it, girl, you got it, girl, you made it, girl, blah, 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 all of this. But the moment a black man wants to marry a non-black woman, it's a problem. Now,
after the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Absolutely. And you know what? We don't care. We don't care. When it comes to dating preference, it's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to go how it's going to go. And there ain't nothing you can do to stop it. Period. All you're going to do is run your mouth. You ain't going to do nothing.
some black women don't want to deal with them anymore because he chose a different route. This is crazy. See, guys, too many women nowadays use their sexuality to impress and keep a man. But try to use your femininity and watch you transforming that man's whole world. The way he sees you, the way he talks to you, the way he treats you, things that he wants to do for you. This is what men are seeking and looking for.
Exactly. I can care less about your body. Been there, done that. What? That don't mean nothing. What you have, that don't mean nothing. What? Do something different. Like, be yourself. Be authentic. Do the simple things. I've noticed for some individuals, that's difficult for them to do. The simple things. Let's start there. Yeah, you got a nice body, and okay, what that's supposed to mean? Yeah, you got a beautiful, pretty face. Okay, yeah, and what is that supposed to mean? When you dealing with a man, especially a man that has options, and you don't have the experience to know how to humble yourself and then be authentic, you'll be the one that misses out. Someone else will take your opportunity.
All of these women who look so good, who have everything going on in their lives. Yes, of course, an attractive woman is always going to get a man's attention, but really it's the connection between you and him. You can be the most attractive woman on the world, but if your attitude is crappy, then the best looking man is not going to want to deal with you.
You can be the finest thing since sliced bread, but if your attitude sucks, it's a turnoff. For real. Gotta have a good attitude. Gotta have a good attitude. There's more to life. Are you living life? Are you enjoying life? Or are you just existing? You know?
Let's get to this lady's video. Her video is actually about 6 minutes long, so I'm just going to go ahead and give you the meat and potatoes. She goes to the barbershop and she sees a young, handsome black man. He's tall, he's muscular, getting a haircut. She overhears his conversation that he's having with his barber. He's talking about how he just graduated college, he's an engineer now, and he's back in town to get ready to marry his white girlfriend. And when his barber asks him the question,
what made you decide that she was the one? Like, what made you want to marry the white girl or the white woman? No disrespect. So what this young man said after that is what just literally took me out the game. As a black woman, as a black mom.
We are going to get into the man's answer in a quick second. I just want to jump in real quick and say that this could have been the story that my husband could have told, because my husband went to the barbershop before he boarded his last plane coming to Germany, and he was in the exact same situation. He was getting a haircut, talking to his...
Shout out to all my people in Germany and, Australia. And, shout out to, man, fun time. Shout out to my cats in the Middle East, Dubai, Pakistan. Shout out to them. Much love and respect, of course, the Caribbean Islander coast, much love and respect. And shout out to, to my Filipino homies, my Asian homies, my Latinos, and, the Italians. I mean, I get love from a lot of people because I show them love. I show them respect. So I get that tenfold back in return. And that's why when I interact with different people, it's always love with me. because that's who I am. That's how I get down. That's how I move. I'm not the judge nor the jury, right? I do have judgment of character. We are supposed to judge, but I know how to treat people with respect. I'm kind to myself. I'm kind to others. And by doing that, and I meet people of different culture backgrounds, it's always love. Let's continue.
Barber, and when he mentioned that he was going to marry a white girl, everybody turned their heads towards him, and all of a sudden he was the center of attention, and people were so concerned about the fact why a black woman wasn't good enough anymore. And it's not even about that. It's about what this woman is going to explain in just a minute. It's about the difference to what he was used to. And I'm not saying that what he was used to is bad, but what he was able to get here was just better.
Says that, he come from, of course, the hood and had a hard knock life, just with one mom and no dad and that same shit. Like, don't nobody I hate the fact that that is such a stereotype. We hate it too. But so he goes off to say that when he went to college, it was a college that was mixed, but more so of a white college. And he start, meeting up with white friends and, they introduced him to another whole world that he didn't know existed, and the young girl, she became a friend and then introduced him to their family. And when he goes over there, they're all married. The parents is married and they have a really good home and they do things together. And
But listen to what she's saying. When he goes over there to her family, they accept him. They welcome him. He sees something that he didn't see growing up, even in his own home. And that's what usually happens. Just like with my family, some don't understand how my family get down. We cook, we love. That's just who we are. It's tradition, it's cultural. You see? And for some, they may not have never experienced that. They don't know how to receive that.
Communicate, it's just a good energy, a good vibe.
Now, first of all, I would like to say that non-black families have their issues too. They may just be better in hiding it. But I want to focus on the words vibe and energy. See, when my husband came to our household, a traditional Turkish household, living in Germany, where everybody has their roles, there are rules and regulations. You're coming home from work to a home-cooked meal. You're sitting down. Everybody's asking each other, how was your day? There are set times where everybody has to be at home for dinner or else mommy is going to get upset. There is no disrespect, no hollering, no screaming. There is not coming home, going into your rooms and staying into your rooms to yourself all the freaking time. That's not going to happen.
And this man said, I never knew this side of life. My life was always loud and chaotic and always disruptive with my family. So the young man said, he would go over there and they would go on vacations. They would have Sunday dinners. When they had cookouts, there was no fussing, no fight, no arguing. It was just all love and vacations. I was thrown at what this young man was saying in regards to what he seen and what he witnessed being with this young lady and this new side of life. And so he said that, when he seen it, he start thinking about all of the chaos that his life was. You know, it was always baby mama drama and fussing and fighting, and they'll get together as a family and it'll be a fight, and the drunk uncles, the drunk mamas, you know, he was like, my aunt and uncles, they all on welfare and always scheming and always fussing and fighting, cussing, you know, trying to hook up with this dude and that dude, and it's just all these black women, just all that seemed like that's all I was raised up under, that's all I seen, that's all I know. And
I really admire this woman for her honesty and openness and willingness to speak about this, because when I was trying to speak about this topic a few months back, the world hated my guts. Of course,
the truth. Most do not like to hear the truth. That harsh truth is their reality. Just like the 12-foot sculpture that sits in the middle of Manhattan. That's a reflection of the Shaquitas, the Makitas. That's a reflection of those ghetto hood modern feminist women. Some don't like it when they see a reflection of themselves because it exposes them in so many ways. Who are you to expose me? How dare you? Yeah. But at the end of the day, regardless, the game is to be told, not sold. Stay ready so that you don't have to get ready.
not everyone, you know who I'm talking about. Anyways, that's the difference that my husband experienced and that he was so intrigued by before he decided to permanently come here to Germany. The environment, the atmosphere, the whole coming home feeling, the feeling of comfort, the feeling of being welcomed, the feeling of being recognized.
As a man, that's a good feeling. To have someone to come home to come home to a home-cooked meal, to come home to love. Like, you know how good that feels as a man when you walk through the door and the missus is there waiting to hug you and greet you? That is a beautiful, powerful thing. Like, man, it's a good feeling. Some are not bringing that much heat like that. But to a man that appreciates life, and to a man that just wants to be loved and just wants to be appreciated, just wants to be treated right, these are those little things.
Cared for. Somebody was at home waiting for him. Somebody was calling his phone, worried about him when he didn't come home at a certain time. You know, that feeling of being appreciated. Of course, I'm not saying that all black family households are what this woman had described. Some of them are like this, though. If they wouldn't be, that man wouldn't have had that experience. My husband wouldn't have talked about similarities like this one. You know, you can't make this up, just like the great Kevin Samuels said. If more women would adapt the thought and act like they are wifeable, then we wouldn't have these problems, not on the dating market. We wouldn't have women talking about, oh, they can just do whatever they want. They don't need a man in their lives. All of this talk, you already know what. You know, if women would be as feminine as masculine they are, it would be the complete opposite, and I think we all would be fine. This channel might not even exist, or I'll be making cooking videos. I am thinking about making cooking videos because I just love cooking, but that's off topic. So guys, what do you think about this topic though?
So, what do y'all think about it? You know, it's about being each other's peace. It's about loving each other right. Again, I chose to have these types of conversation. I chose both of these videos actually because I wanted to highlight a whole lot of things that go on in dating that is often not shared nor talked about. Again, when it comes to one's dating preference, when it comes to interracial dating, I'm all for it. To me, it's a beautiful thing. We need to we need to have more of it, and we're starting to see more of it. We're starting to see more interracial families and interracial relationships, interracial marriages. We're starting to see more of it, and there's nothing wrong with it. Don't let society and social media pump you up, feeding you that nonsense. Love who you love and allow them to love you back. It's your boy, Big Truck. I want to thank each and every one of you for chiming in today. Please don't forget to go to my YouTube channel, The King's Table, and subscribe. Check out the new videos that I have, and I got many more things coming up. My fan page on my Facebook is still under construction, so I'm doing a live broadcast from my personal, but once it is up, once it is ready, once it is running, I will be going live on Facebook from my fans page. All right? So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for Truck Nation Athletics, my clothing line coming out this summer. I'm excited about it. And other new adventures, like I said, in life, and I'm going to leave y'all with this. In life, you are responsible for your own success. No excuses. Stay consistent in all that you do and say.